Well, hello everybody. This is Brandon Ivey, Double Diamond with Sherlock Nation, and I've been having a crusade this year where I talk about bring the middle class back to America, and you have to. It is a must that you have your own home-based business, one way or another. Doesn't matter what it is, but you need to be doing something other than what you've been doing all your life to have an income coming in, because the baby boomers are going to realize very quickly over the next 5 to 10 years what's about to happen to them. Here's an article that came out in Forbes magazine titled "The Case of the Disappearing Pension." Now, this is an old article that is came out a couple of years ago, but it's still relevant today. You know, and I want to read this because it's even worse today. In 1975, Jack started working for a large U.S. corporation. "You'll have great benefits," his parents said. "As long as you do a good job, you'll never have to worry," his new boss said. Making the decision to accept the job was easy. Jack was really pleased to be working for a company that was the leader in its industry and was known for taking care of its employees. In fact, on his first day, he learned that respect for the individual was one of the company's core values. Jack set out to be the best employee he could be, always striving to do excellent work and believing that if he did his best, the company would take care of him. He planned to work for 30 or 35 years and then take an early retirement. I mean, why not? He thought the pension plan was designed to allow him a nice bump in those later years of his career. As the years went on, Jack felt some pressure to put in more hours and saw some years where he got an evaluation that was less than he expected. And sometimes he even had to go 24 months without a raise. But he loved his job and he believed that his boss would take care of him. In the early 80s, when his employer offered a tax-deferred savings plan, he took advantage of it, but only up to the employer match. He didn't feel the need to put in the full amount allowed by law. After all, his monthly pension checks should replace about 75% of his salary when he retires. Then in the mid-90s, Jack's company announced a change to the pension plan. Employees who were within 5 years of eligibility for retirement remained on the old plan, but everyone else saw a significant change to the pension plan. That nice bump Jack was expecting in his later years disappeared. He would only get about 65% of his salary in retirement. Now in his early 40s, Jack increased his 401k contributions to make up for the loss. Despite seeing many friends and colleagues let go in resource actions, Jack still trusted the company was doing the right thing, and he remained tremendously loyal to the company. In the late 90s, the company did something Jack thought he'd never see. They announced that anyone who wasn't already 40 years old would be shifted from the existing defined benefit pension plan to a cash balance plan. Jack's colleague Jill missed the age cutoff by just 1 month. She would be lucky to get half of what she expected to get when she first joined the company. It was the first time Jack was happy about his age. At least he was still taken care of. Jack was now maxing out his 401k contributions and even took advantage of the additional amount he could set aside when he turned 50. But retiring at age 55 now seemed out of the question. The company announced more changes in the mid-2000s, this time primarily affecting older workers like Jack. Employees were told that their pensions would be frozen. This meant that Jack's pension would no longer accrue additional value. The last few years he worked up to that point would be the final years used to decide what his pension payout would be, regardless of how many more years he worked or whether he got another salary increase. Jack's expected pension value at retirement was now less than half of what he thought he'd get when he first started working for the company 30 years earlier. Even if he worked to age 65, it was impossible to make up what he had lost. The company tried to lessen the blow by agreeing to put in additional contributions to Jack's 401k plan for the next few years. But before he could take advantage of that benefit, Jack found himself caught up in a resource action and forced to take early retirement with less than adequate pension and retirement savings. A real life story. While dates and specific plan changes may vary from what my fictional character Jack experienced, this story is far from fiction for many private sector employees who have seen their retirement wither away. The Boston College Center for Retirement Research estimates that the number of employees covered by a defined benefit retirement plan, the ones we think of as traditional pension plans, declined from 62% in 1983 to 17% in 2007. Especially bad hit are those who started working in the 70s and early 80s, who were in their mid-30s to late 40s when changes to traditional pensions started to occur. Many of these employees started working before tax-deferred savings plans were introduced, and joined corporate America when the fairy tale that their employers would take care of them was still real. In a brief entitled, "Why Are Healthy Employers Freezing Their Pensions?" the BC Center notes that mid-career employees with high years of service have far more to lose from pension freezes than their younger counterparts. Even with enhanced 401k rates, as in my example, the study notes that employees 50 and over lose from a freeze. Those who were able to retire before the shift from defined benefit plans to cash balance and 401k plans took place are the luckiest of the bunch. And younger employees are able to take advantage of many years of accrual in a cash balance plan. But the BC study notes that these younger workers are still at risk if they fail to take advantage of their benefits and invest wisely. The message to those joining corporate America today is clear. Save, save, save. This is sad. Basically, you have the sheep that have been working for 30 to 40 years, turning their nose up to any investments, any home-based business offers as too risky, when in fact, they are in the most riskiest positions of all. Because when it comes time for them to get their golden parachute, when they're in their late 50s, 60s, maybe even their 70s, and after working their entire life and being loyal to their companies, they're going to retire with less than half of a pension, if they even have one, to live on for the rest of their lives. Too old to go back to school and start a new career. Then what? Take action today. Get started in your own home-based business. The answer isn't even in save, 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 but earn enough money to make your money work for you through investments. My name is Brandon Ivey, Double Diamond Sherlock Nation. Bye-bye.